get started then. So today I'm just gonna go through a reading paper basically, because I think the best way I can show you kind of some tips and some tricks that maybe I haven't shown already is just by doing a test and showing you how I would do it. So let's go through it. Which section? Okay. So first thing, right? This is what almost every reading test will look like. 6 questions, 3 sections, each section getting smaller. Now, I personally don't read this before I start answering the questions. Because I think when it's a bit time pressured, and I know that the order of the questions also shows me where I will find the answers. So, because this is the first question, I'm more than likely gonna find it at the very start. So, which section refers to workplace values in document 1? Um, okay. Well, tip 5. Tip 5 looks like it, right? Tip 5, uphold standards following company values. Um, I have a feeling that would be where it is. Andrea, do you have any idea? Maybe I'm missing it, something like that.
No, I can see all first.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, and 4. They are referred to the
They all refer
how,
to workplace
yeah,
values, right?
the
They all
work,
do. So
but
that's interesting. Hmm.
yeah, it's a tricky things because you
Yeah,
tend to choose one of them, but I agree. The tip 5 is about values.
I'm gonna go for tip 5. I am gonna open.
Because
Uh,
values means respect or
okay, let's. So we're saying it's tip 5, uphold standards, right?
yeah.
That's what we're saying. Now, every time, because these are timed and they're practice tests, they don't get sent to anyone, they don't go anywhere. So you have to mark them yourselves. So you know you're doing the questions right or wrong. So I would check the mark scheme, I'd say, okay, section 1, which blah blah blah. Tip 5, uphold standards. Okay, we're correct. Let's move on.
What's the meaning of the word observing?
As used in the uphold standards section, you may use a dictionary to help you answer this. Now, I think generally for these questions, I would always use the dictionary. Always, always. I mean, I will not use it today because I don't have a dictionary on me, but in the test, you will definitely have a dictionary. So
Mm-hmm.
you're more than welcome to just use it, just put in the definition of the word. Now, let's try and do it if you didn't have a dictionary, Andrea. Okay, so what is the meaning of the word observing as used in the uphold standards section? So we're looking at tip 5, right? We're right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Where do we see
Observing
observe?
company values.
Right? Observing company values helps protect everyone's well-being. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So what does that mean then? What does I think the best thing that you can do if you don't know how to define a word exactly in this context, you should try and replace the word, Like if you were saying it in a sentence, right? And you wanted to use a few words to basically replace whatever observing is in that sentence.
Is
Could you
obeyed or respecting.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically, right. Following, obeying,
Following. Yeah.
respecting, absolutely. So I'm gonna write following, obeying, or complying with company values. Let's have a look, shall we? Following, keeping, conforming to, and respecting. Andrea, I think you said respecting, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yep, absolutely. So you would have got the mark for sure, even without a dictionary. So well done. Um, so give one example of how someone on a work placement could affect their colleagues in a negative way. Now, just personally, Andrea, right? When I see affect their colleagues in a negative way, and we know we just said earlier, right, that all five of these are kind of referring to company values and how you should carry yourself in the workplace, right?
yeah,
So we are now going to look at how could they negatively affect their colleagues. So I'm just looking at these two, tip three and tip four, right? Because I think, well, honestly, I just think like these are the ones telling you not to do something, you know?
yeah.
The other two, they are doing the same thing though, you know what I mean? So let's just read these two. Because normally, because it's a give one example of how someone could do this, there's normally multiple ways of doing this thing. So, and there's probably multiple options in the text. So let's try and find one, okay?
Use an appropriate language.
Yeah, so
Can I paraphrase or something like take?
you can copy and paste. You can literally copy and paste. But um see, I hear you. I was thinking that as well, but I'm looking at it. I don't see
Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see how it affects my colleagues in a negative way. Now, Andrea, I'll tell you something. When there's these questions phrased in
yeah,
a specific way like this, right? I
yeah.
guarantee you, you're gonna see colleague and negative in the same sentence. Most likely.
Okay.
Most likely. So let's go to the beginning, okay? So, um, I'm reading the first paragraph. Commit to your allocated break times, or your colleagues could find themselves doing your work too. That's a negative, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, give one example of how someone on a work placement. So all these tips of you people on work placements. Okay, that's good to understand. I think that's right. Andrea, could you think of another one maybe?
Yeah, but for me, this question is like, is asking me to give one example, yeah, of
There'll
how
be another
someone,
example.
yeah, work placement could affect their colleagues in negative way.
Hmm.
I will have a look quick. Someone, PP person, employee will provide citizens.
Okay, so what I said when I said
Yeah.
that it's gonna have negative in the sentence. I guess not. I guess not. Not all the time, okay? But that would be your first point of starting, okay? It's like
Mm-hmm.
look for colleague and negative. That's the there's the buzzwords kind of I'm seeing and I'm like, I'm gonna find these in the text. That's how I think, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
as you saw, I've just copied this, you know? I copied this exactly from here, you know? Um,
Yeah.
it's the best thing to do because if you know that this is a negative way that you can affect your colleagues, just copy and paste it and take it directly from the text because it's a reading test, but it's a comprehension, right? So that
Yeah.
means that you need to read, understand, and then use the information in the text
Yeah.
to answer these questions. There's very little knowledge that you're supposed to really have, you know?
Yeah.
There's a few questions which are just pure knowledge, which you have to know, but we'll get to those, okay? So okay, so
Okay.
this is a knowledge. This is a knowledge one.
And then
But
in exam, in a proper exam, we can
mhm,
copy and paste as well. They are allowing
absolutely,
us. Yeah. Okay.
absolutely, yes.
We
I would
don't have to type it from
no,
the.
no, no. But I think I can say something. If you copy and paste Um, Normally, if you're 100% right on the answer, it will be fine, you know? So if you know you're
Yeah.
right, you can copy and paste, no problem. But I think in a test, you cannot be too careful, okay? So you can provide some extra context to your
Mm-hmm.
sentence if needs be to support your case because it's an English exam, okay?
Yeah.
It's not like a maths exam, there's not only one answer normally. Because uh sorry, one second.
Yeah, it's
Um
Yone. She's trying to get in, but she says she can't.
okay. So, yeah, you can absolutely copy and paste. I would emphasize that, especially just for the reading, just for the reading. Um, so give one reason why the writer has used bullet points in the text. Okay, guys, so bullet points are here.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? Why would you guys use bullet points personally? Like if Andre, if you were writing something and you used bullet points, why would you be using bullet points?
To point out the important keys.
But why specifically would you use bullet points?
I'm not quite sure. Or maybe I
Hmm.
know, but it's not coming.
It's okay. So bullet points are usually used to clearly,
Yeah.
concisely
Yeah.
convey information, right? So give one reason why the writer has used bullet points in the text to clearly and
To
concisely,
emphasize the important
yes,
keys,
yes, to clearly and concisely emphasize important
information,
steps, yeah,
or
employees
steps in our
should
case.
take. Yeah, I mean it's whatever, right? Like you don't have to like say it how I said it. You could just
Mm-hmm.
say like it's they used to just make the message clear. That's literally all you need to write. Well, let's double
Yeah.
check that though. Let's double check that we're right on that one, okay? So that's question 1, 4. To provide a list where the reader could further blah 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 to show the range of possible support for the reader, to instruct readers on how to deal with unfair behavior. Huh. So, so
Yeah, it's
we haven't
referring
got that.
specific to the,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it says there, right, very clearly. Do not accept reasons that are not related to the text. Very interesting. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, wait, hold on. Did I say that though? To clearly and concisely emphasize the important steps employees should take to uh, to protect everyone's well-being.
Yeah. We have to refer strict to the text, not in general.
Yep. Hmm. There are times when they will ask you to just to do that though, so it can be a bit confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they will make it more clear. So I think I'll try and find that so I can show you guys. Okay. In document 1, give 2 quotations that imply employees are responsible for safety in the workplace. Okay. Safety.
Okay.
I think dress appropriately. Some workplaces you need to wear PPE, personal protective equipment, which your employer will provide. It is your responsibility to look after it and report any problems with the equipment immediately so that it can be replaced if necessary. 3 out of 5 workers injured at work were not wearing the correct protective clothing. Um,
But here we need to use document one is all or
y-
just tip one is all is the document.
document 1, the whole document 1.
Okay. And imply.
Okay, so hold on.
Enjoy
So
attention with employee.
I'm a bit intrigued by this one because I think there's a few. One second.
Mhm. Kind of language and
What do you guys think? I think so. I think
adaptation.
3 out of 5 workers injured at work for not wearing the right protective clothing. If you don't require to wear PPE, you'll be expected to look smart unless you're told otherwise. Yeah. So I think this one. I think this is one. And I'm just gonna do this and then just copy and paste another thing. I think this one. The phones one, you know?
You can do.
So Andrea, do you have any do you think there's any another one, something like that? Would you go for a different one?
No, no. I think it's I don't know. I was
It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough, right? It's a bit tough because I mean, I think my advice would be you can see though how 3 out of 5 workers injured at work were not wearing the correct protective clothing. You can see how that is their fault, right? Or they are responsible for their own safety. Do you know what I mean? Because
mm-hmm.
they didn't wear it essentially. It was provided, but it wasn't given, and it's their job to report it. So you can basically say these things. And just like I'm saying it to you, and I've convinced you that okay, this is right. You need to do the same in the test to convince the assessor that you're right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, the phones can draw attention away from work duties, which at worst can lead to accidents. It's your responsibility to look after and report any problems. Oh, ah, except on any other valid quotation from the text. Only the words outside the brackets are required for the mark to be awarded. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they actually do basically want you to copy and paste. But I think this would be given. I think both would be given. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, they can draw our attention away from work. So I think that's a mark, right? Yes, it is. And then I think I would still get a mark for 3 out of 5 workers injured at work when not wearing the correct protective clothing. I think you can get that if you explained it though, you know. Um,
Yeah.
I think that would strengthen your case, but I still think you'd get the mark regardless. It applies. In document 1, the writer uses language features to give tips on workplace success.
Tips.
Yep. Use language features. Okay. Give one example of each of the following. Okay. So now we're going to start looking at not the text itself, but well, we have to look at the text,
The
but we
tips.
we have to understand what two different um these two different kind of questions are asking us, right? So rule of three. If I said rule of three, do you know what that means?
Rule of three.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Mm. Yeah. Do
Mm.
you know what? Do you know what it is or no?
No.
Okay, so rule of three is like when you have, so if I said, I went to the shops and I bought a drink, sandwich, and a pack of crisps.
Yeah.
So it's something, comma, something, and something. Okay? So it is like this one: respect, honesty, and accountability. That's a rule.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's right. Uh, yes. So new fast-paced professional environment, respect, honesty, and accountability. Be punctual, finish on time, never leave. Okay, so just kind of a list of three things,
Yeah.
basically. Right? A list of three
I
things.
put it down. Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll always normally have something like this. That's why I go to, because that's what I was taught in like secondary school. But
Mm-hmm.
then a rhetorical question, Andre. I think you probably know what a rhetorical question is, right?
Rhetorical question is a question which you can say the response is just you understand already and you don't have
Hmm.
to. I don't know how to explain in English.
Yeah. Basically, right. I think I understand what you're saying. So a rhetorical question is a question that whether you're not expecting an answer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not expecting
Yeah.
an answer, or it's not a question that needs an answer. You know,
Or
you're
has
not
a
supposed to.
response. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no response, right? It's a statement essentially, but phrased as a question.
Yeah.
Um, so let's look. Yeah, I'll be honest though, right?
I was looking at that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like
Or
I think the thing is
yeah.
when they're like when it's a written question, like you're reading something and it's a question, yeah. Unless it's like, would you be interested in this? Apply here and fill out your response. Then okay, fine. It's probably not rhetorical. But if you're reading a question and it's like something like this, I think that counts as rhetorical because there's no way you can answer it. So it's never intended for you to answer it. Ever been late for a meeting? Has anyone ever told
Yeah.
you to find your language? So we got both there. Let's okay. Now I'm just gonna speed up a little bit and just go through these last two, and then I'll probably do another session on section 4. Or actually, hold on. Let me just go through because I want to find some. So, fact and opinion. This is pretty simple, I think. You know what I mean? Fact. Okay. If you see a statistic, just go for it. Go for it. I mean, obviously, double check this. Why is this a statistic? Sorry, but like even like this, right? Like, see these two. Now you don't even need to know the context behind them, right? But you can
Mm-hmm.
you can assume they're facts, right? Because they're not gonna lie to you. Okay.
Yeah.
They'll just they'll it's pretty easy, honestly. So give two
For
reasons
you,
employee.
Arjun.
Sorry, apologies. Well,
For you.
Andrea, you've got most of these questions right by yourself, you know? So please trust yourself,
Okay.
have confidence in yourself. I'm
Oh,
serious.
it's gone my confidence.
No. I truly believe that most of you guys will know the answers to these questions. It's just the questions itself. I think when Andrea, tell me if I'm wrong, okay? But when you read the question sometimes, does the question just confuse you? Do you think you're just a bit confused by the question for a little bit when there's a question you can't answer?
Depends. Some questions are
Sometimes,
confusing me.
right?
I need to read twice.
Yeah, right,
My
okay.
brain is not processing the information straight
Yeah,
away.
it
I need to
happens.
pay a bit more attention.
It
And some
happens.
questions, yeah, some of them
So
I will, yeah, I'll do. And the other things which is I'm scared is pressure time.
yes, absolutely right.
'Cause
Um, yes. So I think a lot
yeah,
of people I know, they will do the practice tests. They'll be fine. They'll find it really easy. They'll come into the
yeah,
actual test, and because
yeah.
it's timed, because it's the real test, they get panicked.
Mm-hmm.
They get panicked. But it's I don't know. Obviously, it's a test. You're going to be stressed out. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard not to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
But all I can stress is that if you don't mind potentially sitting it again, don't think about it. Try and just focus on doing the best you can in that moment. And the best way to prepare for that is simulating the exam. Okay. Like we said, it's timed. Okay. So you can sit here, and just pretend you're in the test because it's going to be the same. You're going to get it on a computer. It's
Mhm.
going to be timed for an hour. It will be essentially the same. And like even the layout of the questions is the same. Okay. Like it goes 6 questions in section 1, 5 questions in section 2, 4 questions in section 3, and then 2 questions in section 4. So if you go through these reading tests and just practice them, like Andrea, you're able to answer a lot of these questions already. That's fine.
With you,
That
with your help, yeah.
No, no, no,
But
no.
if I'll
But
be on my own, I don't know.
I think you look. I think
It's
I am
dead easy to
also
check it.
cutting you out.
I'm
I'm cutting you off.
computer-free.
Oh.
Yeah.
15 seconds. Download the experience today.
Hi, Kingsley. Sorry, could I just ask you to mute your microphone, please? Thank you, Kingsley. Thank you. So
Yeah. What is that?
organizational features. So remember we saw language feature earlier, okay?
Yeah.
And they asked us about rule of 3, right? So organizational feature has been used to emphasize quote success in customer care. Well, I think this is customer. I see customer, right? I see quality in customer services. I think that's customer care. So what would you call this then, Andrea? Just this thing.
Organizational future, no?
Yeah, what would you call it?
In the I don't know.
It's a text box. It's a text box,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh yeah, it's a text box.
Right? And if you were reading this, right, what is the text box doing for you? Like, are you then what does it do? Like, how do you feel with this text box? Like, what do you think about this piece of information as a reader?
As a reader,
Mm-hmm.
it's something which is important there.
Right,
Information.
right. Yes. So it's highlighting
Yeah.
important information, right?
Yeah.
It's drawing the learner, or the reader, sorry, attention. Simple. That's a mark. Let's check. I'll check, but I think it's right. Special display box, text box. Oh, okay. You don't need an explanation, but it's a text box. You knew it was a text box. I think mostly everyone has used Microsoft Word at some point in their life, right? You know what a text box looks like. It's a text box. It does
Yeah.
the job. What's the meaning of the word key as used in the final paragraph of document 2? I'm not gonna do this one because I think we've already covered this. Okay, I'm just gonna go for a few more minutes, guys, just quickly, okay?
Go on.
Okay, so these are knowledge-based ones. These guys are knowledge-based ones. So you have to just know. I think try and find it in the text. Okay, so
Use language.
here it is. It was a mere 100 years ago. So, I don't think it's probably sarcasm or exaggeration. Because like they're talking about their own salon, right? I have done so since I first started hairdressing a mere 100 years ago. You know, they're
Yeah.
jokingly saying they've been in the hair business for a long, long time,
Long time. Yeah.
right? And now this one, okay, dull, drab, and dreary. Any idea, guys? Any idea?
Let me to find it.
What this
Where
is
it is.
called? Look at the words. Just look at the words. You don't need to look at the
Is it
text.
not like describing?
It is describing, but what do you see with the words? Like, what do you notice about these 3 words in a row? Like
It's like
anything, guys. I mean, literally anything about these 3 words. Like, what do they have in common? Like, what do you think about them? Dull, drab, and dreary. Okay, I'll just tell you. I'll tell you. So, it's called alliteration, right? Where they use words either use the same letter or sound in kind of succession. Okay, so dull, drab, and dreary. If you could say it with like, you know, gray. I don't. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. But you get my point. It's like it's when you use the same sound or letter in like 3, not even 3 really. You can do it with like boring bread, or I don't know, something else. But it's does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. But
and you say it's calling alliteration, no?
alliteration. I'll spell that out now. But it's a very common one. It's a very common one. So guys, what I would do is on the Moodle, right? I will just show you quickly. So in the reading, right? Here are the main topics I think you should look at. So organizational features is one for sure. For sure, you have to look at. I think
You see,
if
that's the
if
point.
Andrea,
That,
I think sorry, Andrea, sorry. I think personally for yourself, right? Just from what I've seen from this, I think identifying implicit and inferred meaning, I think you understand. I
yeah,
think textual features is very important because that's just like that's something you just have to learn, right? Using reference materials, no, it's not so much. Organizational features, absolutely. Analyzing text, absolutely. And identify different styles of writing, absolutely. So maybe just honestly all of them, but the bottom 3, textual features and comparing information, those are important ones. Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. Let's do one more question. Okay.
What's it called? Infer?
We have to infer. We have to infer. What he thinks about workloads.
The most.
Okay, is what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say I don't know actually. I think this one's a pretty vague one. So what could you infer? That people should worry less about making a first impression. Okay. That employers value other qualities more than what you wear. Okay. Wear what you want, feel comfortable in. That is important to focus on demonstrating qualities. Okay, now guys, that's pretty tough, honestly. Like I mean, I could see that, but knowing to say that, I don't know, you know? So my advice, guys, get onto these practice tests, okay? Practice, practice, practice. And I think you'll be flying. Honestly, you'll be flying. Make sure you have the mark scheme open next to it when you're going through it so you can check as you go along. But I think that actually just doing these tests, learning from the mark scheme and learning from the answers you didn't get right is one of the best ways